ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Mundaka Upanishad. During our last discourse, we revised the first chapter of the second Mundaka, and we know now how, having covered the foundational idea and aspect of the concept of Brahman, the eternal, the absolute, the Upanishadkar, Maharishi Angyasha, is now trying to teach us how to achieve that goal. What is that goal? Before I go into the detailed study of the shloka, I would like to inform about the very concept of what is sadhana. What is that willful, determined, dedicated, dexterous effort to identify myself with my true original nature? Sadhana. Sadhaka is the person who performs that effort, and sadhya is the goal. Sadhaka, sadhana, sadhya, siddhi. 4 words. The person who tries to achieve that goal is sadhaka. The effort that he puts in to reach that goal is sadhana. The goal is sadhya, that which has to be achieved by sadhana, by efforts, and ultimately siddhi, successful conclusion of the journey. This is very commonsensical. It applies to our day-to-day life. I am desirous of succeeding in solving this problem. For that matter, I put my body, my mind, my life force and energy, and my rationality and my willpower to reach that goal. That is sadhana, willful, diligent, determined, devoted effort. And I reach that goal, that is sadhya, that where I have to reach the object of my pursuit, and finally comes siddhi, success. So it applies to worldly life, it applies to spiritual life. This is A. Second thing is a little abstract and abstruse. I will try my very best to make it easily understandable to all of you, to the best of my ability. In the Brahma Sutra, there is a sutra which is the basis of today's discussion and which I will request you to remember for all times to come as a sadhaka of Vedantic conclusion. What is that sutra? Anabritti Shabdat, Anabritti Shabdat. It repeats it twice, whereas in the scriptures, in those days, when there were no printing press, people used to listen, memorize, work upon it, and then when one achieves, pass it on to the second generation. That is why the scriptures are known as Shrutis. You listen, memorize, and then you pass it on to the second generation. That is how the whole wisdom of the Upanishads was handed over from generation to generation to generation. Now, Upanishad is a Shabda Rashi, that is a total amount of various words knitted together. Shabdat Anabritti. He repeats it twice, which is in those days was not accepted because you are unnecessarily loading the student's memory. And it was as cryptic as small as possible. So here the Brahma Sutrakar repeats it twice. Anabritti, you do not return. That is, the chain of life and death, birth and death, will be broken. Anabritti, you don't come back again. How? With the help of Shabda, sound, words. With the help of words, you can achieve that level of awareness where you identify yourself with the Absolute with the help of the ideas emanating from words. And you are free from bondage. You have broken the endless cycle of birth and death. You don't come back again. No repetition of this cycle. Anabritti, that you do not come back again. The cycle is no more repetitive. How? Shabdat, from the meaning emanating from the word, and you assimilate those ideas to such an extent that your whole being is saturated with that idea. And you know, I am that. I am Atma. That what I know as I am is nothing else but Brahman. I am Atma Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. This is the goal. Now, here in the scriptures, we are now to start the first shloka of the second chapter of the second Mundaka. During my previous class, I just cursorily read the first shloka and explained to you. Before I go forward, I will now go through the system, the methodology that we must follow to reach that goal. So, he says, let us read the shloka, then it will be better for me to explain to you, and it will be better for you to understand. Abhihi, the first word. Abhi means effulgent, brightness, light. What does it suggest? Where there is light, there is no darkness. That object of my pursuit, Brahman, Satchidananda Swarupam Atma, or Satchidananda Swarupa Brahma, when Atma has been equated with Brahman. Satchit Ananda Swarup. Abhihi means Diptiman, effulgent, self-effulgent. It needs no other help to know it, to understand it, to experience it. Let me start with a worldly example. The sun, the source of solar energy and source of light. There are other secondary sources of light, but sun is such a source of light which shines in itself. It doesn't need anybody's help. Not only that, if there is a reflective material, a piece of broken mirror, a pail of water facing the sun reflects on that mirror, sun reflects on that water and illuminates the darkest corner where the sun has no way to reach because the sun's rays run in a straight line. It doesn't run in the curves. It's a straight line. Whatever the Einstein's theory may say. But for our understanding, it runs in a straight line. Abhihi means it is self-effulgent. You don't need a torchlight to see whether the sun is shining or not. Sa Samvedya Chaitanya, self-evident awareness, self-evident effulgence where the immediate reaction in you is, I know, I understand, I am aware. Please stop here. Abhihi. This is a word. The word has its meaning concealed in it, and as soon as that word, Shabda, vibrates your eardrum in a particular manner, that particular vibration is transferred to the audio nerves. And the nervous system carries that typical vibration to that part of the brain which is well equipped to explode into an idea. Abhihi, self-effulgent. Self-effulgent. Do I have anything in the world or anything within the parameter of my knowing where this concept of emanating from the word Abhihi? Is there anything in me that I can understand? Wait, I am. I am aware I am. I am aware I am, and I need nobody's help. It is self-evident. It is self-exploding. I am. I am aware. I exist. There is no darkness in it. My awareness gives me 100% conviction that I am, I exist. And that is so convincing, even if God comes and tells me you are not, I will look at him and say, sir, you are a very busy man. You have to run the world. You better be busy. Let me alone. I know I am. The conviction is so strong that you can even face God and say, sir, you leave me alone. I know I am. I exist. Abhi means Sa Samvedya Chaitanya. I am that. I am, I exist. I am that is my goal. I know I am. From the Upanishadic point of view, I do not know now who am I, what is my true original nature. That I do not know. But I know I exist. Upanishad says, what you know as you are is a mistaken identity, is a misconception, it's a mistaken knowing. The mistake lies there. You are not what you think yourself to be. You are the divine. You are Avishwarupa. You are Sasambedya Chaitanya. You are Satswarup. You are Chitswarup, Atma. Atma is here. I am. A separate existence from the whole cosmos. Amness limited by the concept of separateness. He says, really, you are that absolute. You are Sasamvedya Chaitanya. Only thing is that you do not know now who you are, what you are in reality. That what you do not know. You have to educate yourself to know your true original nature, and only way of knowing is through proper understanding of the meaning of the words properly structured into a sentence. Shabdat anavritti. No other avenue is open to you. Now, let me give you a worldly example. He says, you are aware, you are. I am aware, I am. And whenever I say I am, because of my past force of habit, because of my ignorance of my true original nature, I identify myself with my body, with my mind, with my energy, prana, with my intellect, with my separateness in ego. I automatically, without batting my eyelids, I identify myself with that. That is what I am today. I am a sadhaka. I want to come out of it. How can I come out of it? That Atman, that Brahman, that Satchidananda Swarupam, that Sasamvedya Chaitanyam is not perceptible by any other organ. I can't see it. I can't smell it. I can hear about it. Shabda The sound is the only avenue which stimulates in me the true and a correct understanding of the meaning of the word. Eyes fail me, the nose fails me, the skin fails me, the touch fails me. I know I am Sasamvedya Chaitanya, but I know me in an erroneous manner, in a mistaken manner. I know me as this body-mind complex, which is wrong. Who will correct that for me? Shabda, the sound. What is that sound? Don't make a mistake, my dear child. I am Atma Brahma Tat Tvam Asi. What I know as I am, as of now, is a misnomer, is a misunderstanding. It is a lack of proper knowledge. It is misconception. I have to correct myself. How? Through hearing. I am Atma Brahma. What you know as I am, in absolute analysis, you are that. Tat Tvam Asi. Thou art that. The words can help you. That is why it is said, Shavdat Anabritti Shavdat Anabritti Shavdat. It is only the hearing aid, your capacity to hear, and the process of explosion of that sound wave in that aspect of the brain, that section of the brain, which explodes into a meaning. Shavda tat artha. Savdartha jnanam kartavyam. All that you have to do is have a proper knowledge of Shavda and Tasya Artha, word and its meaning. Please remember that. That is the only vehicle, that is the only instrument, that is the only procedure that is available to you to know thyself. The others are preparatories. As for instance, I am used to see things with my eyes, and I know the thing has a name, thing has a form, the thing has certain qualities, the thing has a utilitarian value. This is the parameter where my intelligence roams around. Wait, I look at this picture. It is an object of my vision. I see the human form, and I immediately remember historically a human being with such a form was born, and the world accepts him as an incarnation of the divine himself. So that picture, when I look at it with its background, it appears to me a symbol of an avatar, God incarnate in human form. I am within that four concept of name, form, qualities, utilitarian value in the domain of Maya. But I am now concentrating on a form with my emotionality, with my rationality, with my determination, with my ingenuity. I am thinking, I am in presence of the divine. He is in me, I am in him. In name, in form, in qualities, and in utilitarian value. It is a preparation, a jumping board to the absolute. So don't neglect it. Vedanta includes everything. It depends on with what attitude you are doing. Say, for instance, Saligram Shila, those elliptical stones. They represent the concept of Vishnu, the concept of Narayana. As because I am in the domain of those four concepts, in the domain of Maya, I make use of an object with a name, with a form, with quality and utilitarian value, and I concentrate on it. How you look at it as a symbol of the absolute, you are going towards the absolute. This is the excellence of Vedanta. It is all inclusive. Dvaita Bhava, Vishishta Advaita Bhava, Advaita Bhava, and beyond. Beyond philosophy. Experiencing. This is what essence of Vedanta is. But you can only have help by your ears. Shabdat anavritti, through hearing. Now, dear, from here onwards, sadhana starts. The instructive part of the Upanishad, the scripture starts. That is, we have been informed, we have been educated in the past 32 shlokas, and the 32nd shloka gives you a suggestion that this is what is happening. See that, experience that within yourself. Yo etat nihitam guhayam sa avidya granthim iha bikirati he Soumya. He Soumya, the man of peace, of poise, of tranquility, of sobriety, of steadfastness. Soumya. Hey Soumya, desirous of reaching that goal, the goal is you experience that amness, that existence deep down within yourself, devoid of all attachments and adjuncts. In itself, be free. And you will be free here in this life. Here. You don't have to wait for another life. You will reach your goal, your objective here in this life. That is how the 32nd shloka ended. Now, in continuation of that, from the 33rd shloka to several shlokas onwards, I will tell you, it is nothing else but various aspects of sadhana. So now, from the sadhaka point of view, let us read the 33rd shloka. Abhihi, it is effulgent. Now, stretch your imagination. What is effulgent? Is it like the sun? But sun is so far away from me. What is that effulgence? The effulgence, that awareness that I have, the consciousness that I have of my existence. I am. I exist. This is an awareness of my existence, and it is eternal. It is always there, it never leaves me. It remains in the background, but it is the main theme. I am, I exist. That is why I am interacting with this world. If I am not, who interacts? Abhihi, effulgence. Please now get used to these Sanskrit words. Sa Samvedya Chaitanya. Sa self, Samvedya understanding, self-effulgent, Chaitana awareness, self-evident awareness. Sa Samvedya Chaitanya, self-evident awareness. Avihi, I am that self-evident awareness. Sannihitam, it is very secretly deep in my being. It is sheltered, very carefully, very protectively, so that it is never spoiled. It is there. Samyak nihitam, very carefully, properly, precisely, it is deep down within me. Why is he so elaborate? He is helping you to think about it. He is helping you to clarify your process of thinking without any offshoots and without any strainers. You are absolutely straight. There is no offshoots. Avi sannihitam. Where? Guhacharam Nama. Deep down within the cave of my heart. To all humans and living beings. Each one instinctively or intelligently. The animals, they understand instinctively the instinct of self-preservation, and a human, they understand instinctively, and they, because highly rational, evolved, they understand it rationally when proper words are used to explain the correctest possible meaning. So, we have read 4 words. Abhihi, Sasamvedya Chaitanya, self-evident awareness of my existence. It is definitely in me. There's no doubt about it. Guhacharam, deep within my being. And Nama means Prasiddham. It is universally accepted. Nobody says I am not. Everybody says I am, I am, I am. And the fun of it, you know, everybody says my body. That is, I am not the body. Nobody says I body. Everybody spontaneously says my body. But in your day-to-day life pattern, they identify with themselves with the body-mind complex. But they say, my body, my mind, my life forces, my intelligence, my will, my ego, all of them are mine. I have identified myself with them. I am separate. I am. I say I am, but thank God to the ignorance that I am suffering from. I identify with everything that I am not. Atasmin tat buddhi. So, abhihi samyak nihitam guhacharam nama. Mahat padam etat. This is Mahat padam. It's immeasurably large. inclusive of the whole cosmos in itself. Limitlessly large. What does it mean? Space cannot limit it. It is beyond space, beyond time, beyond causation. Infinite is in space, eternal is in time, immutable is there is no change. It is the absolute. Infinite and what is it? Anyway, this is what it is. And he says, here lies the secret. Now, I'll give you another worldly example. How can you cultivate this idea? Say, for instance, by profession, one is a lawyer, one is a doctor, one is an engineer. Broadly, any branch of engineering, any branch of law, any branch of medicine. You have the same faculties, but 5 years of tertiary education teaches the doctor to develop that insight. Looking at a patient, he looks him from head to toe. And he is educated to see signs and symptoms in the body of the patient from which he can infer which organ is not functioning well. Very high top eyebrows is a sign of kidney failure. Puffiness of the face and swelling of the legs is a sign of heart failure. The pallor of the skin is sign of anemia. Yellowish stains is sign of bad liver, jaundice. Those 5 years are utilized to teach him that insight, that faculty within him. He looks at a patient and he identifies. And I have seen a very, very famous physician. You know what he used to do? He used to come and stand in front of his patient. The patient was lying in his bed. From head to toe, he used to say, uncover the patient, the body. He never touched the patient. And the GP, who's a regular practitioner of that patient, he used to tell all the history to that doctor. He never even touched the patient. He only looked at him. And he was famous in whole of India. He was Mahatma Gandhi's physician. Dr. B.C. Roy, Vidhan Chandra Roy. I have seen him. And he only looked at the patient and the diagnosis was done. And he never went wrong. How come a normal human being with his faculties were educated to develop these insight to analyze the signs and symptoms of a body of a human? And he was correct. Similarly, an engineer, he is taught to develop certain attitudes and ideas which a normal human being will not understand. He does. Looking at it, oh, this cannot be. Go, tell the crane, it's going out of plumb. Tell the crane, it will fall down. And such accidents take place. The plumb is not, the vertical layer of the crane is not plumb. By education, these faculties, these insights can be cultivated in human body and mind. This is also a faculty which can be cultivated in human mind. Have no doubt about it. That is what sadhana is. That is what spiritual discipline, spiritual culture is. I now concentrate myself twice a day before I get into my worldly life and after I have completed my worldly duties. I am left to myself. I relax and I identify myself. I am Abhihi, self-effulgent awareness, Sasamvedya Chaitanya. I am aware, I am. I am available deep down within myself, very, very properly, precisely, very, very securely placed. That is what I am. Who stops me from cultivating this idea? It's a process of self-education at par with your tertiary education. Only thing is, you have decided to get this education. You have decided, I will educate myself in this line. Enough is enough of all the worldly education. What is the problem? You educate yours. And then he says, I, in my true original nature, this Atman, the Jivatma, I am attached to all these things. I am verily the Paramatma, the Brahma. I am surrounded in my boundaries. I break open my boundaries. I am in Ajat, that's all types of birds. Ajat, Pranat, all types of living creatures. Those who blink with their eyelids, there are some creatures, they don't blink their eyelids. All type of creatures, this is only a suggestion. I am all in them, they are all within me. Sat, Asat, Varedyam. It is in physical world, perceptual world, and beyond the world of perception. It is, and I am that. Param Vijnanat Jad Varishtam Prajanam. Param Vijnanat. It is beyond the worldly way of knowing. Why? You have started a journey within yourself. The world is now within you and in the domain of ideas. It is not the extrovert world. You are now started your journey within yourself and expanding yourself, basing the whole cosmos. That is the journey that you have started. Jad Varishtam Varaniyam. That is our supreme goal. How I wish I reached that goal. That is Varaniyam Varedyam. That is a hunger within me. That is a thirst within me. I would like to reach that goal. And that is for all and sundry. We invite all of you to come and join. It is up to you to decide whether you will or you will not. This is how, dear, the second chapter of the second Mundaka starts. The very, very secretive, subtle, but positive, vibrant, throbbing, living way to start meditating. And what is meditative? continuing thinking in a particular manner. Continuing thinking in a particular manner. Eka akara chitta vrittir rudeti. Eka akara. One type of vritti continues moment after moment after moment. And it becomes a lengthy process. This whole 1 hour, we are being thinking and talking and explaining. Eka akara chitta vrittir udeti. You are doing it wide open eyes and in this world, but talking of that, now you sit in a corner and you think, Avihi sannihitam guhacharam nama etat mahat padam. This is, and etat samarpitam sarvam ejat pranat nivishat cha nivishat jat prajanam varishtam sadasad varenyam. It is both in manifest world and in the world of ideas. I am that. It's a self-education. Only in that education, the journey and exploration, investigation, experimentation is all within you. And in tertiary education is all extrovert outside you. That is the only difference. Now, it's for you to think, what is the procedure by means of which I, with the help of my faculties and capacities, knowing full well I am where I am. I do not know who am I. Let me start my journey within with the help of correctly chosen words. Those words explodes into certain ideas in my brain. Ideas are nothing else but thought processes. Let me concentrate myself on those thought processes so that I can find out what is my true original nature. This is an experimentation, an exploration, a journey which is all within yourself. You go to explore Antarctica, you go to explore Arctic and Antarctic areas, you go to explore the depth of desert. Why don't you go to explore thyself? The journey starts within yourself. This is how the second chapter of the second Mundaka starts. We have now studied the first shloka with all its instructions hidden in these words. And in the second shloka, he will give you an example of a bow and an arrow. I'll come to that during our next talk. Let me read again the first shloka and call it a day. Let me see. The Ditya Khanda of the Ditya Mundaka. Abhihi sannak nihitam guhacharam nama mahatpadam atra etat samarpitam. What is placed onto it? Arpitam. They are all placed there. They have no separate existence. Without that, they don't exist. What is that? Ajat. All the birds, all species of birds. Pranat, living creatures. Of the living creatures, some of them do have the capacity to blink, some of them don't. That means all comprehensive life. Animal life, plant life. Bird, reptile life, bird life. With vertebrates, with non-vertebrates. Everything. They are visible and also invisible. But they are worthy of achieving. The thirst to achieve is there. Param Vijnanat. It is much beyond the worldly process of knowing. Yad Varishtam Prajanam, which is the goal of each and every human being. Why? Remember that famous statement. Jivana Mukti Sukha Prapti Hetabe Janmadharanam. The purpose of being born a human, not as a lesser biological creature. You are in the process of evolution. You have got the human birth because the goal has to be reached in this very life. Jivana Mukti Sukha Prapti. To enjoy the eternal, ecstatic, divine joy of being one with the divine is the purpose of being born a human. Otherwise, you would have been born any other creature. Make best use of the being born as a human. Best use of the birth of being born as a human being to reach that goal. And this journey is not an extrovert journey, outward journey, it's an inward journey. Yad varishtam prajana sat asad varenyam. It is very, very pleasant to achieve. It is a desired object to achieve. And it is an object open to all, no selection. It depends on what you want to achieve. To achieve worldly pleasures, you are most welcome. We are prepared to wait. The Upanishad says, I am prepared to wait. And if you want to come to me, here you are. I am waiting for a mother to help you out. Avisannihitam guhacharam namaha mahat padamatra etat samarpitam ejat pranat nimishatcha nishatat jat atit jat etat janatha sadasad param vijnanat tad varishtam prajanam. This is how the study of instructive part of the scripture starts. Information and education has been done. Education, information will go along. It's a process of endless education. So dear, the information procedure is over. It is now education and instruction. We will start the next shloka when we meet next Sunday. And it gives you the example of a bow and an arrow. Thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna